This video is going to show you how to add or change a clock in the Patriot Time program. So, of course, the first thing you'll do is log in. And I did say log in, so you don't want to clock in, you want to log in. Again, this is to change something. And you'll see right up here, you see your current timesheet, and right up here on the blue bar, you'll see change requests. So you want to click on that, and then click the down arrow key next to change type. You'll see a lot of different change types. The ones that we most frequently use are add punch in, add punch out. Remember, punch in and punch out is the same thing as clock in, clock out, just different terminology. And then you'll also see, if you scroll down a little bit, modify punch in and punch out. So let's say, for example, that you forgot to clock in the morning. What you'll want to do is, when you remember that you forgot to clock in, go ahead and open up Patriot Time and log into your account. Don't just clock in, log in, and go to your change requests and add a punch in. So once you click add punch in, you can select the day. For example, I'll select today, and you put the time that you actually should have clocked in, say 7:45, and put A or P for AM or PM. If you don't do that, you may find that it automatically registers you for like 7:45 PM if I don't put A. Sometimes that happens. So you don't have to actually put AM, but if you just put A, that's fine. So if I click on submit changes, then it'll say give a reason. Let's say forgot to clock in, and then click request. And then you should see, actually I already clocked in, but that change request has been now sent to my payroll person and my administrator. And once that is approved, then the payroll person goes in, submits it, and it'll change my time. You can also do a change request. For example, if you forgot to clock out, let's say you forgot to clock out and the next day you come to school and you remember that you forgot to clock out the day before. All you have to do is, again, go to your Patriot Time, log in, go to your change requests, and add a punch out. And then select the date that you forgot to punch out on or clock out on. Put the time, let's say 3:30 PM, and I'll put a P there, and submit changes. I'm not going to actually clock out or punch out because I've already done that. But if you would need to do that, then you would submit your changes. It'll ask you to give a reason. You'll say forgot to clock out on Monday or whatever, and then go ahead and say OK. I'm going to go ahead and close that. So that's if you forget to clock in or clock out. The other thing that some people need to do is actually modify their time. So let's say they clocked out at the wrong time, and they really intended to clock out earlier, and they clocked out later than they were supposed to. If they already clocked out, then they would go back in and modify the clock out. Okay, so when you modify it, it brings up the different dates and it shows you the times that you're clocked out. Now remember, I'm a certified employee, so I automatically get clocked out after 8 hours. Those of you that are wage and hour workers, you will notice that when you clock out, it'll give you your time. Again, remember, the A and the P stands for AM and PM. If I need to modify, let's say I need to modify my clock out time on the 26th of June, I click right here where the little pen and paper is, and I modify that time. Let's say I meant to clock out at 3:30 p.m. and then click Submit Changes, enter the reason, clocked out at wrong time, and click Request, and again it'll go to your payroll person and your principal, and once that's approved it will be reflected on your timesheet. So that is really the only reason that we use change requests. You'll see there's a lot of other things in here which we just don't use. So add punch in, add punch out is if you forget to clock in or clock out. Modify punch in and modify punch out is if you've already clocked in or clocked out and you actually need to go in and modify that time.